How are you doing? It's Martin from Gardens for Life. Finally, the winter is nearly over. It's the end of February now, and Wheel of Life is literally starting again. Actually, for a couple of weeks now, because you see spring bulbs popping up here and there, and trees, and especially the flowering shrubs and our fruit bushes are starting to bud out, or the leaf buds are starting to swell. It's been a long winter for us so far, and it's been a busy few weeks now. That's why we haven't made any videos in the last few weeks. Basically, the winter sale is wrapping up now, and we are very happy about getting out here and actually getting more work done out in the field, I should say, in the gardens. And we're going to be starting seeds from in our greenhouses again soon. Now we're going to start growing seedlings, mostly vegetable seedlings and perennial flowers, and also some fruit bushes from cuttings as well. So hardwood cuttings is definitely something that's well worth doing, and there is still just about some time for that. And geez, it's very cold out here. We're going to basically start the early spring, or the end of the winter I should say, by replenishing our existing garden spaces, and we're going to take what we have and make new spaces and expand our gardens to have more growing space for the coming season in 2021. And it's always a balance though between having the space to put your plants and then also growing enough plants to fill those spaces. We've found that either you have too many plants to plant or you have too much space, but if you keep a good balance, then you'll always have a good productive garden for the year. Of course, this is the only time of the year that we actually do any kind of maintenance on our no-dig gardens, in particular the perennial gardens, where we have planted all kinds of different perennial vegetables and berry bushes and fruit trees in our, well, some people like to call them food forests or forest gardens. It's kind of a mini forest garden, I guess. You can see it in the background here, kind of. I'm actually in our front garden here at the moment, and you can see here's the monkey puzzle trees in all their glory. And I just wanted to show you what kind of maintenance we do here in late winter. Basically, we just take away any kind of shrubbery like this. See, this is an oregano bush. We basically just cut all the old wood away, the old growth from last year, and then the new growth will come. With oregano, actually, it's great because, you know, you have something, you have actually fresh leaves basically any time of the year. And things like these here, we actually deliberately keep all the stalks on our fennel. This is actually, I believe it's Florence is the variety, and this is 3.5 years old now, this plant. And well, 3 years old. It's probably 3 growing seasons it has gone through. And we're keeping all the stalks here because it's great habitat for insects for the winter. They basically just kind of scrape their way into the bark, and they live in the hollow part inside. So we keep those stalks and we just leave them there, and just let the new growth take over. Then we have fresh fennel leaves then for medicinal purposes, and also for, you know, using them for spices. And yeah, we definitely are going to make some more hardwood cuttings, like for example, well, this is actually kind of more semi-hardwood, but this is actually still kind of green. This is rosemary, and we're gonna try and start some more plants because they do take a long time to grow. It takes about a couple of years to grow those, and we're going to start some more black currants, white currants, josta berries, red currants, and all different types of berries, especially gooseberries as well this year. All in all, the maintenance stage of our gardens in late winter are not very time consuming, I have to say, but video editing is more time consuming than doing our actual maintenance on the garden. You can see we basically just harvest plants. These are the raspberries. We basically just harvest plants while we during the winter, and with that basically take any plants that have spilled over onto the paths, and we either sell them or use them elsewhere or pot them up, and then we can don't really need to do as much maintenance either. So we're going to do 3 things to our gardens. This is the pizza garden you can see right here, and it's still looking good after about 8 months when it was made, 8 months ago. And you can see here the fennel plants are also starting to sprout again at the bottom, so we're going to just basically cut away all the old growth, and these are some purple sprouting broccoli, so we take away any of the old moldy leaves and basically just clean it up, tidy it up a little bit, and take away any of the existing stalks from last year, and then we're going to cover the whole thing with compost, a layer of compost on top, and then we're going to replenish the paths with wood chips. And that's basically all the maintenance we're going to do to any of our existing growing spaces, especially the ones for annual vegetables or even for tubers as well. But as long as they're market garden style, we will just have only wood chips on the paths. In our perennial spaces where we grow berry bushes and perennial vegetables like Jerusalem artichoke or mashua or whatever, any kind of plants that really don't require any maintenance at all, and you can just leave them there for years to come. You basically don't need to do anything other than to replenish the wood chips on the top every couple of years by probably a couple of inches at the most, maybe 5 centimeters. I'll show you here. You see, this is kind of what a garden can look like. This is the horseshoe garden. If anyone wants to see the pictures of what it looked like originally, on our website we have projects, and the horseshoe garden is one of them. We're going to replenish, take away all the old stalks and all the nasturtium stalks you can see here, and some bits of kale, and we're going to basically replenish the mulch here. So you can see the actual wood chips have basically completely dissolved or completely been decomposed by the soil life below, and we're gonna probably put a bit of compost here and then put wood chips on top, and then we can keep on growing. Now, one thing you could do is you could add some amendments if you wanted to. You don't have to. If you have compost like mushroom compost that's about at least 6 months old, that's good enough. Or you can use some the wood chips also have minerals in them, of course, and so you don't really need anything, especially if it's mixed wood chips, all different types of species. Especially hardwood wood chips would be nice too, if you can get them, and if you can ask your local tree services company or arborist to drop up a load to you when he has hardwood wood chips. When he's working on hardwood trees, I should say, or deciduous trees, then those would be much more useful to your garden in the long run anyway. And you can also use volcanic rock dust to actually supplement for minerals as well. So once we have replenished our existing garden spaces and prepared them for the new growing season, which usually takes an awful lot less work with no dig, because we're only layering on top, and that's all there's to it. We're not digging, we're not ploughing, we're not turning over the soil, because we want to keep the existing soil structure, which is really important to us and to the soil life too, including the worms and the microbials too. Sorry, it's really cold out here and windy. So the idea is to then have extra time and extra energy every year to expand your existing garden spaces if you have room for it. We have a little bit of room left, as you can see behind us here, but we're slowly but surely going to utilize all of it, all of the space we have, which is always a good idea. In particular, if you're living in a suburb, if you have a tenth of an acre, you can grow a hell of a lot of food. Gathering materials is always a good idea too. while you're doing other stuff on your garden, for example wood chips and compost. But compost is the most important component, and of course seeds and cuttings. If you have friends that have like some berry bushes that you'd like to get some cuttings from, especially the ribus family, like the all of the currants and the jostaberry and the gooseberries, they're easy to do from cuttings. I would highly recommend growing some berry bushes and get them started yourself. So you can see we've started some of these cuttings here. These ones are from last July, and we have started some new cuttings too, which are these ones here are some new cuttings. These are actually some different roses and elderberries, buddleias, gooseberries, more roses, and red currants. And here we have a few more bits and pieces, black currants and hybrid poplars and salmon berries. So plenty of bits and pieces started, and we'll probably have a bit more wood out there that we could harvest from the actual berry bushes that we could use to make some more plants this year. Well worth doing. It takes about a couple of months for them to take a root, and then you can pot them on, like I showed in another video, especially with the workshop video from 2019. So this is our seed starting greenhouse at the back of our house. It is very old. It's over 10 years old now. We bought it second hand about a year and a half, 2 years ago. Actually nearly 2 years ago now. And we have all tables in here, as you can see, made of pallets. If you're new to the channel, you might not have seen these, and basically we're going to turn 2 of them into heated tables. We have the actual wire here. This is the soil warming cable, and we have a thermostat here too that we're going to use to regulate the temperature, so that it uses probably about half as much electricity. And it's well worth it because you get a lot of plants you can fit on a space like 8x4 sheet of plywood basically. But we're going to put down some insulation first. So the idea is we're going to start growing plants as soon as temperatures warm up, probably at the end of March, maybe the middle of March. So we have about 3 weeks now to do maintenance on our existing garden spaces, and we can get started with some of them early because we have the heated tables as well. And you can see there's some tubers left here. We're going to plant those, and we have all the tubers actually in our greenhouse at the moment because we're renovating our shed a little bit, and we're working on some homesteading projects too. All of our tubers are actually in the greenhouse at the moment, so we had to cover them with an old blanket just to make sure that the frost doesn't actually damage them. We have some specimen plants in this corner that need to be moved to the other greenhouse too. Some kiwis, gojis, and look at the beautiful Mount Azu willow. So it's pink flowers. We have some figs here too. This is a Desert King fig, and some other ones over there. And you can see there's a few orders still going out. This was just a quick update video on what we're doing at the moment, this time of the year. Nothing terribly exciting, but at the same time we're looking forward to another season of growing plenty of vegetables and starting more fruit bushes and fruit trees, and especially of course all of the perennial vegetables that we're specializing in, like the tubers. We're going to start those too soon, and we'll probably make a new potting video on tubers. Thanks for watching, and we'll be making more videos in the coming weeks and months. It's just been really busy with the winter sale finishing up and our homesteading projects, so please bear with us. Thanks very much for watching, and please like and subscribe. Thanks very much. Bye bye.